We
Oh,
got people from all over the place, from India, from Poland, from New Zealand.
by the way, guys, we have started recording the session, so we can start now.
Yes.
Oh, it looks like
Okay.
Abbott, are you having connection issues? Yes. Can you hear us?
They're better. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Occasionally,
There he is.
my internet might just get choppy.
Sarita is joined in.
Oh, good.
Now we are at 13 participants.
Yeah, we just have a couple others then.
Hello, Sarita.
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Sarita.
Hi.
Hello.
So good to see you all. Yeah.
See you.
So
All
now we
right.
are at 13. We still have 4 more to join us. Can we start or wait for them?
Yes.
Whatever
Oh,
you
we'll give
want.
5 more minutes. We'll give them 5 more minutes since some may be new to Zoom and it's right now around noon. They may be having a hard time figuring it out.
Albert,
And of course, take this, anybody, the reading is
Albert
optional, but
is
if you'd
having
like to read,
issues.
we'll do some readings. We'll allow everybody to read a poem if they want, if they wish.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So who's going first?
I'm gonna
How about
see if
you?
Thomas will go first. Who? Ben?
I
Yeah.
don't mind.
Okay, we'll let Ben go for it. This is his
Yeah,
brainchild,
really.
so I'll let
Go,
him.
Ben.
We'll acquiesce to him.
Uh-oh.
Just a minute.
Hit it, Ben.
Just give me some time. I'm just getting ready.
Sure.
Unreal.
Anybody else waiting? There's somebody else waiting in the room.
Whenever you want, you tell me.
Who is waiting? There's somebody in the waiting room.
I don't see a name. Sarita went off and Abbott's not there.
No,
Oh,
Abbott's here.
Abbott's here.
oh,
Okay, I don't see a video though.
Oh, no, I see Abbott. Maybe.
Okay.
now we have
I see everybody
one
but
more
Abbott.
person.
Oh, we have a new one coming.
I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey.
Who is that?
Oh, we have someone coming in from a phone, I think.
iPhone.
That could be CJ.
Can you see me yet?
Can't see you. Is that
We're
you?
We did for a
waiting.
second.
We can
We
hear
saw
you
you for a
though.
second.
Oh,
Okay, well, let's see. It's not asking me to do anything. I see
can you
you
see,
guys.
You have to switch on your video.
can you see where it says video? It might
Oh,
have
yeah.
a red line through it.
If you have any
No,
other Wi-Fi.
it doesn't give me that option. It just says my phone number, and then you guys, and there's nothing else, and it says ready. I'm not getting any other options to do anything else. Oh, here's some more. Okay. Zoom. Oh wait, where did
Camera.
you go?
Switch on your
Zoom
camera.
on camera. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was off. Okay. There. Allow.
There she
There,
is.
There you go.
There
there
we
you
go.
are.
Did you see me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Now see,
Oh, there we go. I did
There we go.
it.
I can
I'm a
read a
little.
poem. Does it matter if it's political?
so shall we
No.
Hello,
start?
Carolyn. We expect it.
Very good, Caroline.
All right.
Now, is that you,
Carlos,
CJ? Because your
Carlos
little
already
your name isn't there. Are
critiqued
you?
this.
Is that you, CJ?
Yeah, I
Okay.
put my name
Nice.
there. It just says just says my. I don't know what it says. But
Yeah.
yeah,
It's got
it
your
Maybe
seems
phone
it's
to.
number
under.
there.
I put my name under there for
Did
CJ
you? Okay.
Sutherland. Sorry.
Well, that's okay. We know it's you.
As long as we know it's you, it's okay. Yeah, so I'm going to kick it
Tell me
off.
when I start.
A warm welcome to all of you.
Right.
And it's nice to finally put a face to the name.
Well, my name is Carmen, but I go by CJ because a lot of times people think of Carmen and they think I'm Hispanic, but I have
Oh.
like I have Asian eyes, and so they're always my whole life is what are you? You know, and I'm like, oh, I'm from California, and that seems to work.
What are you?
Yeah, not who are you? It's what are you?
What are you?
And it. So I
There's a good
started using
question for
my
us all.
initials. Yeah, so then they don't know, by my initials, and it seems to work. So
So once we start reading, except for the person reading, the others will have to mute their mics.
Yes. We'll go ahead.
Otherwise, otherwise you will have issues with the sound.
So when
Okay.
someone starts reading, we just mute our mics, right?
Yeah.
Got it, Thomas.
Only the person reading must have the mic on.
okay,
So can we start?
Yes.
yes,
Let's go ahead and start.
Waiting
Okay.
room,
Can
November
I start?
Sky.
Oh,
Mark,
Ben?
Mark is
It-
rejoining. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So now,
Okay.
or in the chat box, you can also read along with what I am going to read. And this is a rather old one. I haven't written something new for this session. It's just appropriate, so I thought I'd use an old, something which I wrote in 2017.
Excellent, Ben.
Yeah, so you can see it there on your chat box. I've just called it Come Let Us Converse in Verse. Come let us converse in verse. Why write with plain lines when we can read out in verse? For with verse, time simply flies. Social conversations are getting terse. Life is not all about earning dimes and merely filling up our purse. So let's talk in musical rhymes and break silence's curse. For I can read the symptoms, signs, and it looks like this world needs a nurse. So since our creative thoughts align, let us correspond in beautiful verse than dull, meaningless, stupid lines. Therefore, let us in verse converse and break free of reality's confines. Let us ourselves in poetry immerse and experience nature's designs. For there is little time before the hearse. So let us rid us of our machines and become one with the universe. Come, let us correspond in verse and fill our world with smiles.
Good one, Ben. That's
I
lovely.
like that.
Thank you.
I like
Well
that.
done, Ben.
Excellent.
Thank you so much.
So
I
some,
like
That was
how you can
beautiful.
read along.
Good job, Ben.
so now who's going next? Thomas?
Hit it, Thomas.
Got my vote, Thomas.
All right. Sounds good. I'll do one from memory. I have one memorized called Lonesome Neon Nights. Angels with broken wings, frostbitten dreams, morphine nights, and gangrene schemes. She had that broken glass sadness, the kind that gets worse with every slammed door and every lazy moon mad night. The light in her eyes was dim, like a candle in the fog, like a frog that dreams of flying, but wakes up in the same old pond, day after the grading day. Man, every time I see her, I want to take her home and give her a bath, feed her strawberries and rub her feet. I want to free her from the rain-slick suffering she's stuck in, wash away the stench of the lonely diesel strangers. But I can't save her. Hell, I can't even save myself. So I bum her a midnight special and light it for her with the brief sulfuric blaze of glory bereft of any lasting light. Walk away, jack-o'-lantern grin into the lonesome neon night. There you go.
You are a hard man, Thomas.
Wow.
Well
Thank
done,
you.
my dear. Very
Beautiful.
nice.
And diction extraordinary. Thank you so much. What a musicality of your voice.
Thomas, you're a
Yeah.
real professional.
To be able to
Better
hear
man than
the
me,
voice
Thomas. I
really,
could never,
really adds
ever.
to the book.
Thank you so
You're a
much.
better
I
man
really
than me, Thomas. I
appreciate
could never memorize anything.
Thomas, can you post your poem in the chat box so that we can give it another read?
it. I'd have to copy and paste it or from somewhere. I'd have to find it somewhere. But
Thomas, you can read mine if you want to.
yeah.
So who's next?
Yeah.
Okay, I got one. It's called the watershed moment. Cast thy nostrils to the air to sense the magnitude of change. What was then is now no more. The atoms rearranged. Touch thy fingertips to life to feel as difference lingers there. For what was smooth and sensuous, now calloused in abrasive air. Know that in the passage time, the trickled sands invert their flow. For what was once a comfort stop becomes an unsafe place to go. Skill, once held in high repute, no longer wields the mantle now. Torn, the chaliced riches worn, gone, the wealth of sacred cow. Vast, the might of new elite, emergent in its chosen time. Fallen now, the vanquished, in the tragic wayside left behind. Gone is the old world, in its jaded coat of faded charm, reshuffled to obscurity whilst surging new blood fast rearm. Where once there stood a working forge, which fashioned mighty wheels of steel, now shifts a field of wind-blown wheat, which cares not one jot what you feel. That's it.
Wow.
Wow.
Super, Marsh.
Wonderful,
Super.
wonderful.
That's
Jeez,
wonderful.
man. Marshall, I was thinking Kipling all through that thing.
Tremendous. Yeah,
You
that
know,
was
Alan,
tremendous.
Yeah.
Alan,
You are
look just
of
like
the
the
of
sound,
the, of the traditional beautiful poetry. That was amazing. So your poetry always amazes me. You're keeping alive the old tradition. I love that.
Yeah.
It,
I'm a
it's-
traditionalist. I like the top 100s. Yeah. I studied it in college.
Okay, who's next?
So who should we go? Who would like to
You
go
want me to
next?
go?
Sure, Maddie, go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna take one from Hello Poetry. That's okay. This is called Writing Poetry. I was an 8-year-old latchkey kid. Writing was my friend when I was home alone after school. Homework, write, make dinner 5 days a week. No questions asked or the belt came out. Another time and place. No after-school programs, no friends permitted over. Loners don't have friends anyway. My confidant listened and never judged me. Helped me stand up and never let me fall. No matter the bully or the challenge. By writing, I talked. It's not just the words, and they matter. It's the magic that happens when it flows like wine, sparkles like champagne, an ice cream soda with whipped cream, multicolored sprinkles, and a thick straw. Writing poetry.
Wow. Did you write that when you were 8 years old?
No, I have been writing since I'm 8, but no, I did
Okay.
not write that when I was 8.
That would have been
Yeah.
impressive.
Very impressive.
Yeah, I have
Thank you.
98 journals since the age of 12. So it's in the moment.
Thank you.
Owners don't have friends anyway. That resonated with me.
I know I have friends here. I know that for a fact.
Yep.
Yeah, I have friends here.
Yes.
You all.
Absolutely.
It's nice.
A wonderful community.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
The Pillow Poetry has really stuck out to me as a really good poetry site. Not so much bullshit. I like the layout. I like the soft muted gray background of it. It has a kind of a legitimacy to it.
Because it's very focused on the text, and it's very pure with the I guess the purpose of the platform, and there's no ads or anything extra would take away or distract from the.
Exactly.
After more than
And
12
thank
years,
you.
after more than 12 years on Hello Poetry, what appeals to me is the integrity of the people on it. You know, you feel like people are giving you value, speaking from the heart. As Alan says, you don't get bullshit on Hello Poetry. You get it as it is.
Once in a while, though, you'll get a straggler whose intentions are not admirable.
Yeah, I think you're gonna
You know,
get
to
that.
put it
But we've been very
They're
fortunate. We
everywhere.
don't have that most of the time.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I
that's
get
very
some
true.
guy who writes like sex poetry to me on messages. And
Oh,
I just, yeah, I'm not into, I'm married for 42 years, so I'm not
you can
down with
block
that kind
them.
of stuff.
I would suggest blocking them.
Yeah.
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 I
Immediately.
didn't know you could do that.
Yes, you can block them. If you need help, any one
You
of us
just
could
made my
probably help
day.
you with that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
thank
You
you.
don't need
I was
that.
attacked. I was attacked by a really snotty troll who decided that he was going to say that my poetry reminded him of bad lit 101 classes and things like that. And then he got really personal and really mean. It was really strange. I just blocked them. They're out there. They're like a little fungus that
Yeah.
grows around the
Someone
edges. Not
started
much you can
writing
do.
thumbs down on all of my stuff. Thumbs down. I don't know why, but
I come
I
from
don't know.
a
Yeah,
hard
if you don't
school.
like it, scroll on by, you know?
Right.
I come from a hard school of pretty tough people way back. So when I get those animals, I give them both barrels. I have them on. Believe me.
Yes. Yes.
Well, now I know to, just block them. I've never done that before.
Yeah.
And they can't read any of your stuff after you block them, and you can't read
That's
any
right.
of it.
Yeah,
So-
life's too short for that, you know?
Right.
I'm like, my glass is always half full,
But
you know?
one thing, if you block them, they resurface with some other name.
You
Uh,
can do that, but
well,
yeah.
yeah, then you have to give them points for tenacity, I suppose, or creativity. But I like helping the young poets um who are just like they're 17. I'll private message them, be cautious, because I used to teach college. Don't give out too much information. Maybe putting your 14 is not the best thing for you to do. Keep a journal, put
Yeah.
a date on it, just basic stuff. How to use the site, how to get, if you want to be read, you have to read people, just friendly banter, stuff to help them, you know. So I seem to get positive feedback, So we were all 18 before, so it's nice. It's yeah, it's nice to because they're like, is it any good? Is it is it dribble? And I'm like, consider yourself a poet, because they
Right.
do that lowercase I that drives me nuts.
I do that. I do lowercase
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah,
Carolyn,
because I'm like, you matter,
Gallo,
Yes.
Uh,
Carolyn Shank says she can't get in, but I can't see anybody in the waiting room.
Can't see.
No,
Who
I'm
says they
here.
can't get in?
I'm just trying to read, but there's so much conversation. I can't I don't want to break into people's talking. I just have one political one I'd like to read.
Oh, sure. Go ahead,
Carolyn.
Caroline.
Okay.
Please go
Carla
ahead.
already knows this one. It's called It's called This Madness. It was written in October, and it's titled Gaza. Now stop me if you don't want me to read a poem about Gaza.
Go for it.
yeah,
There
go
is
for it.
there is in this madness of this planet a hopelessness, a sadness beyond which we cannot crumble. Scraps of inhumanity are sweeping the winds of hell blow up to circle a soft underbelly of civilization. Nothing in which we are to believe is left on the soiled platform of ignorance. There is no place for prayer. The Psalms are lost. No fires burn to heal, but to destroy. There is one left that Jesus loves who cries in loneliness, the arms that reach one time, the voice that alone says yes to the flames. You cannot burn my heart. I love, and you cannot have the name of my beloved. On my soul is written the future. After the fires are out, when the children hold tomorrow, and I and my love are free.
Oh, that's great.
Now that's what I mean by integrity. That's what I mean by integrity. Carolyn,
Yeah.
that was
I agree.
beautiful.
I agree. Also, that's what's important about poetry and art in general. These are the kinds of feelings we need to put out there to try to stem the tide of the what's happening, the fascism that's starting to engulf this country. We as artists and poets have a responsibility, if we so desire, to simply speak in our own way, and that slowly stems the tide of ugliness, and eventually it will overcome it. So that's an extremely important poem, and you should
Yeah.
make sure that you put it out there as much as you possibly can.
Thank you.
Here, Alan.
I have a number
Well
two,
done,
but
Very good,
I have
Caroline.
a number two Gaza poem, but it can wait.
I think it's
Keep it
important
going.
to try to take the middle road. Like sometimes if I'm writing, I don't like to say from like one side or the other. I'll say like, both sides, I don't care what letter is behind it. A good person's a good person, a bad person's, that. That way you don't get attacked as much. But anything you do, it stays in print forever. So you have to remind yourself that.
There's one I wrote after this debacle recently. I'll stop after this one. It's called Gaza Spring of 2025. Soak in the bath of pain, you who brought them, crushing its vocabulary of slander, to we with whom you wake each day, severed limbs of children, tongues lay spent, cries to Allah, Allah from the dying faithful. God is good, who pray amidst the betrayed, lay slathered in the fields of liars, who takes away the good of this world while we pray that the sons of betrayal hang, hearing bombs backfire, lives lost in a dried sand, sounds of choking down the vomit of lies whose brother truth is betrayed. I think I'm done with
Wow.
Gaza.
What's your name?
Caroline
Carolyn what?
Shank.
I'm going to read more of your poetry.
Oh, well, thank you.
It doesn't say the names for me, and so
Oh, okay.
like I'm just taking names and reading so I know, like some I know, but I've never heard your voice or saw you people before. So anyhow,
Thank you
I'd
for
like to
You
read
know
one.
what? Let's do this then. Each one of us, let's introduce ourselves briefly, because I have a feeling some don't know, can't see that. So
Yeah, my
why don't we do,
picture went away. I don't know.
I want you to know who we all are. Okay, I'm Carlos C. Gomez. Then
Hi,
Ben?
Carlo.
Hi,
Hello.
Carlos.
Ben?
I'm
Who are
Gregory
you?
Johnson. I go under the pen name G. Allen Johnson.
Very
Hi,
Okay.
good.
Greg.
Oh, I like your poetry. Yeah, that's good.
Well, thank you.
Next.
I am Ben
I'm
Nova
Melanie.
from South India, Madras to be exact. And
Okay.
I've been on Hello Poetry for quite some time, on and off. I'm there. And I think I know most of you guys. Carolyn, I haven't read much, but I've read most of the others. I love reading.
I'm Thomas W. Case.
Hi, Tom.
Thomas, you
Hi,
need no
Tom.
introduction.
Thomas, you're published, aren't you?
Yes.
He's a professional.
Oh, I don't know about
Thomas, I
that.
love your work.
I have your book, Thomas, but you know that.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for anybody out there that's bought.
I
Yeah,
even
I
did
would
a
like to
review.
learn. Sometime I would like to have your story tell about how you did that. I'm in 4 anthologies, um, but it was through International Poets Society, and I think it's kind of was a gimmick, um, but I would like to publish a book because I did with International. Noble House is interested in publishing. Well, they really are more interested in the novel I'm writing, but they said to start with getting your feet wet with writing poetry, a book of poetry. But I don't know anything about that, you know. I'm just compiling poems and then going to the next stage.
You could consider a
So,
chapbook.
chapbook?
A chapbook. That's a good start. I don't want to get into too much of it, but you can Google
Yeah.
chapbook. It's a good way to get it out there. It's a lot cheaper.
Okay.
It's a good start. It gets your feet wet.
Okay. Good to
I
know.
like
Thank
it.
you.
All right.
Get your
Would
feet
anyone else
Maddie,
like to read?
I
Oh,
also
yes.
go under Poet Bear. Some of you know that. I have
Yes.
2 books published, and the third is not poetry, it's a novel. And Carlo has been phenomenal. And Thomas, you have been super. Same with Ben. For those of you that I don't know, I know the names, and I think all of you are very talented. As far as the last person speaking, if you send me a message on Hello Poetry, I have someone who might want to look at your work, but I don't want to say anything here because it's not appropriate. But if you want to do that, I will send it to you. And
Annie, what's
thank
your
you, Ben.
last name?
Natty.
You just
Maddie.
find her on Hello
I'm
Poetry
only
under
Natty
Maddie,
on Hello Post.
Maddy.
Under Maddie. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Good luck.
So who's next?
Maddie.
I'll
Maddie's
go
got
next. I'm
connection.
inspired now.
Mhm. Well, I'm CJ Sutherland, and I've been with Hello Poetry for 10 years. Before that, I was with the International Poet Society, and they crashed. The site crashed, but they have a Poet of the Year contest, and it was phenomenal. It was a week in if you get invited to come, it's a week in Florida. And they have symposiums and all kinds of different things to explore classes and different divisions. And yeah, it was an experience. I think some of it was a racket to try to get people to buy books, but I got a lot of exposure and I learned a lot. Did a lot of open mic, and it was, I don't even know if they're still doing, I'm sure they're probably still doing it under a different site, but
CJ, hit your camera switch. All we've got is a telephone number.
camera switch.
Yeah.
Okay, video, not video. Where?
Yeah, video.
Not video.
Yeah, video.
It's suppressed. Like you can't go there. Okay, let me try a different area. It's sort of frozen. It gives me speaker zoom, but all the rest of them are suppressed except for speaker and or end.
Are they red by chance?
I don't know. Okay, here. Let's try allow active view. Let's see if that works. No. Well, I don't want to stop it for that. I'll just keep playing on it.
Yeah.
But I would like to read a poem. Let's see
Sure.
if I could get out of here and come back. Maybe somebody else could go. It says it's not playing on the Zoom.
We do hear you.
Oh, there you go. Got
Yes.
it. It went
There you
into
are.
X clock. It
You
went
are.
into like sleep mode.
I go into that mode every now and then.
You know, I mean, I actually have two phones here I'm playing with, but I'll say a poem. It's called "A While with Me." Will you walk a while with me? A loving heart whose eyes to see, when stars shine over the darkened sea, the quiet rest at the end of the day, while all else sleep I cry and pray. Will you walk a while with me? A friend who knows and cares to say, stay strong, my dear. I'm always near. Sweet words that cheer my questioning heart. Let's see, it went to a different page. Questioning heart. No matter how distant, we'll never part. Will you walk a while with me? I live in chronic pain, so that's one of my first poems that got recognition as something more than just a journal writing.
Felt
I
a
like the
little bit like
trend.
Mary Oliver.
You know, yeah. I do. I don't. I believe that at the very beginning, I kind of gleamed off of my like E. E. Cummings or different, you know, roads that were inspiration to try to use that. My goal is to do a poem from every genre, which is a lofty goal.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Can certainly be done.
And then identify it to say this is an epic poem with quatrains, to introduce people to more than free verse.
Well, also a good exercise for you because I don't know, because it's nice to write free verse and just kind of sit there and put on paper whatever comes to your mind or whatever you're feeling. But when you try to apply a structure to it, it forces you to think in a different way about what you're writing, and it can be a good
Yeah.
exercise. Yeah.
I also
So
like to do art poetry, I call it, where I make
Ekphrastic.
pictures. I make pictures in my poetry, like hearts and people, and like I actually will
Oh
draw
yeah.
I'll draw a heart, and then I'll put the words all around to make them go in place.
I like that.
That's
Some
fun.
say it's distracting. I don't know.
think
I get
so.
bored easy,
But it's
but
the nice thing about poetry is it already transcends the normal rules of language. So when you add pictures to it, there was actually another poetry platform I was on for a while called Comiful, and it has since gone defunct, unfortunately. But I liked it because it allowed you to create little slideshows with your poems. So you could add pictures and images to the words. And I enjoyed playing around with that because it let you add another layer to the text. And I like to use paintings and pictures and create a story behind the images. So as you're reading, there's this background stuff happening, and you can layer and arrange things differently.
There's a
There's
girl, Annalise, that's a college student. She adds music to the bottom, inspired music. I don't know. I've tried it. It's interesting, but
we have
it's another
the
area.
Ohio Poetry Association. We have a thing called ekphrastic poetry, and we go into a gallery and we write a poem based on a painting that we pick out. Uh, I've done it also in the gallery I'm in here in Cleveland. It's really cool because people come in and look at your painting or vice versa, and they see it in a different way and write a poem inspired by that. And that's
Yeah,
that you see your
that
own
would be
work in a
interesting.
different light. Yeah. And then they
That would be
recite
real
their
interesting.
poem during the event. It's really cool.
I had an art teacher that did that.
So I guess
that's neat.
Thing that stimulates me of late are the young 20-year-old poets coming into this organization. We had one just in the last few days called Moonlight. I can't remember, but her poetry has a serenity which is quite outstanding. And there's another little hotshot. This kid is a student at a university, and she really puts.
Is it Yale? Is she at Yale?
Yeah.
Oh, an AVNA? An AVNA.
That's it.
Yeah.
Now she really puts
Yeah,
all
she's
those old
amazing.
guys.
She's absolutely amazing. I was kind of hoping
Yeah,
she'd be here.
her stuff is really good. I enjoy reading
She
her.
puts us to the test. Yeah.
A pre-med student, for crying out loud. She's amazing.
But sometimes she gets a little political. She bites a little bit, and I just go into the private message and bite right back. And she does respect her elders, so she's like, thank you for putting me in my place.
Yeah, but her bite is refreshing.
Yeah, I'm like, if you want to bite at me, don't do it
somebody out
publicly,
once in a while. Well, what's the point?
Yeah.
She's a great
She's an excellent
storyteller.
writer.
She tells a good story. Very,
Yes.
Yeah.
very creative.
Really talented.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting as she gets older. She had a picture of a big bubble in her face, and I said, that picture is going to haunt you. As you're a doctor somewhere, and you're going to pull up this picture with you blowing a huge bubble, like you're vapid.
I want to read I want to read her dissertation. I want to read her final dissertation. I think it's going to be great. It's not going to be boring.
Yeah, definitely have a wit. She has a wit.
And some of that can't go into academic writing. I think I would like to read her dissertation as well. She's an excellent poet. I enjoy her work very much.
Very different.
Yeah.
She doesn't think she's a poet because basically she's writing journal writing. Yeah. She doesn't. She says, "I'm not a poet." People in her class tell her, "Don't write poetry. You don't know what you're doing."
One thing that does piss her off is when you comment with a poem. Quite often I dive in and throw a poem which relates to what she's talking about or her message. And that leads me on to this, which is really a compliment to all of you. This poem is called The Poets in Our Midst. Suffused through the veiled abstract, some ride the tail of Satan, some shelter in the shadow of God. Many are diffused in the great indifference of humanity. But some pluck the jewels of eternity from the billowing cloud to voices and musical inspiration to the willing, attuned, and receptive ear. These be the poets in our midst. And that's you guys. You are the
Mhm.
poet.
Oh, that's
Sam.
good, man.
That was great.
That's
Love
really
it.
good.
Great.
I really like
That's a
that
great one,
piece.
Em.
I take my hat off to all you guys. It's a pleasure to be here.
I've been dying to meet you, Em, since day one. I mean, I love your comments. You know, you don't hold back. Nope, no, you're not kissing anybody's ass. You know, you tell it like it is. It's really refreshing.
Yeah.
I'm so glad. My dad would love you. I mean, it's too bad he's not alive anymore. You guys would get along great.
Nice to get a comment, that's insightful and more
Right.
than just a thumbs up, to see if you're on the right track of something.
Would anybody else like to do any reading? Read a poem.
I got one. I'm inspired now. It's called Tallow. Some careless wanderer launched the wick, or let me start over again. Some careless wanderer touched the wick with his careless match, and the flame clung to it like death itself, pure and innocent, blazing in controlled ecstasy, sucking up the fat, a hungry, bright comet, a harbinger, a clue. Caught and imprisoned in time, made to burn, made to give heat, made to die, made to help the careless wanderer read his book and to help him find his bed. I saw you in the green grass. I saw you in the belly of a star. I watched you burn away and become something else. I saw you scream. When they were about to butcher you, and you gave your life in dumb wonderment, you were born for this. You will light the way. You will fall into this new reality and rise with the air, then disappear in serene enchantment. You will greet and mingle with my air, and I will inhale you, and you will dance with my blood. You will spew from my mouth, rise to the edges of the atmosphere, and rain down on the green grass. I will wait for you in a patient lifetime to again become my tallow, my soul, my ghost, my gifted and holy fuel.
A good one, Alan.
That's a great one.
Vivid images.
Good one.
Tremendous. Loved it.
Thank you.
Wow.
I love that thread of how, something goes away, but it continues and comes back. It doesn't really leave.
That's it. Always coming back.
Now let's hear from some of those guys who haven't had a poem.
I would love to read a poem.
Go for it, Abbott.
You're it.
For it.
All right. This one one of the ones from my Hello Poetry page. It is called "If the Stars Stop Shining." If the stars stopped shining, the night would be like the deep sea, dark and cold. If the stars stopped shining, the light from the sailors' lanterns would reflect off the sea, like sunset on the Atlantic ice. And the shipmen and their saxtons could not find their way back home, and there would be a little boy in the window every night, waiting for his father to return. There would be a woman at the widow's peak, waiting for her husband to come home. If the stars stopped shining, would lovers still love each other? Because if the stars stopped shining, I don't know if I would still see you in the certain way I've grown to love.
That's nice.
Great job, man.
Thank you.
That's nice, Abbott.
Great job, Adam.
Good to see the young
I love
stuff.
romantic poems from a young kid. Everybody seems
Thank
young to
you.
me except me for M.
Well
Yeah,
done,
keep
Abbott.
that stuff alive, please.
I will.
More youngsters
As little
join us.
cynicism as possible.
We need more youngsters to come in and join us in such meetings.
Yep.
Ben, we can still only see half your face.
Come again?
Anybody
We can
else?
still only see half your face. Tilt your,
How about
tilt your.
Carlo? Carlo, you got something for us?
That's better.
Sure.
Can you see me now?
Yeah, much better.
Yeah,
Yes, we
there
can
you
see
go.
See
you.
me now? Do you hear me now?
Let me see. I can copy this into the chat so you can see it. This one is about the Cold War. and it seems more relevant today than ever before. It's called Spy in an Alcove. This is for Win. Satellite, oh satellite, who sits upon our skies, how deep do you see when you spy into our lives? This is for when Coyote called into the ether, connecting heaven to earth, for when glass snow sang and velvet revolution twinkled in the humming air. This is for when the quiet hedges of lilies and remains came out of darkness, for when the misty curtain man, shopping for codes and antiquities, poisoned the salt shakers. This is for when a spy in an alcove, twisting the thermos tops to his dark-eyed sister, shelled the transmitters of Radio Free Europe. This is for when his wife refused. This is for when, working in the glass structure of a Cold War, made Spider and I a measured room, an ark of doves, for when the last step from the surface was the end of a thin cord.
I believe you. I believe you.
Yes.
Lovely, lovely. As
That was
always,
beautifully done.
Carlos.
Beautifully done.
Yeah, that was
always
some
good.
great work,
As
Carlos.
always, you have a special, unique style.
Carlo,
And
you
it's
always
also
tell a story in your poems, and that's what I like so much about your writing. And you do it very concisely. It's like every poem is this nice little storybook wrapped up with a bow, and it reads so well. And you have very clear imagery.
Thank you, Melanie.
Of course.
And also, Carlo, beautiful presentation. That was really classy, mate.
Real class.
Anybody else like to read?
Where
Okay,
is
if you-
Sarita?
Okay. Oh, you want to go again, Ben? Go ahead.
Where is Sarita?
I'm here.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm very much here.
Please do read.
we
We'd
don't
love
want to
hear
forget
from
you here.
Okay, I'll read one from Hello Poetry. This I wrote 4 days ago. It is The Flowers Speak. Blooming in the darkest, sorry? Yeah. I'm not very good at modulating my voice, but I'll try. Blooming in the darkest of hue, brightest of colors, vibrant orange, magenta, and red. Summer's at its peak, the flowers speak. Gulmohar's orange glow, like a sweet memory of summer retreat, a bouquet one can never hold. Bougainvilleas sigh on the lattice, like cascading rills of magenta pinks. Beauteous reds, roses and hibiscus in the garden grow tempestuous.
Good, right?
Yeah, I remember.
That was incredible.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you, Carlo. I have not been speaking much here, but I'm so glad to meet you all here. And I mean, the talents of Hello Poetry, I mean, meeting here is really good. And thank you, Carlo, for arranging this, and Ben and everybody else.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you for the beauty.
Thank you
Thank
for
you for
joining
introducing
us,
beauty.
though it's so late.
Carlos, I would like a list of everybody because then that way I can kind of read more of their poetry.
Sure, I will send you a list of everyone who is here today.
Thank you. I
Yeah, I
appreciate that.
appreciate that because
I'm really
there are a couple
one,
people here I
yeah.
don't recognize.
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
read
sure,
my
so-
poetry, I will always reciprocate. You know, I
CJ,
think
you've
that,
been around for a long while. You've been around for a long while. You've got some great stuff out there. You know, you're one of the notables, CJ.
thank you.
I've been
Some
reading
of
your
it
stuff
is
for years.
political, some's political, you know. Um,
That's good.
but I do it in a way that's not radical, you know. I think it gets more and that, because I used to be a teacher, I kind of like I do some poems that are like more educational, I think. But I'm trying to get out of that mode. You know,
It's not,
I don't write
education
a
is
lot
fine.
of, I don't do a lot of love poems. Um, Maybe because I've been married for 42 years. I don't know.
Carlo, I want to compliment you on your coverage of the poetry. I don't know how you keep up with it all. You know, you're inexhaustible, old fella. And I say keep up the good work because you're a real asset to this organization.
But I tell you,
Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah.
So much good work. So, because every one of you, I read all of you. So, and I enjoy all your work in different ways. And it influences me. So
Yeah.
you're welcome, but thank you guys as well for what you provide me with. You give me the fuel for my own works.
Yeah, thank you, Carlo, for setting this up.
Well,
yes, thank
I had a
you.
little part, but Ben deserves more of the credit. Ben's the guy who really got the ball rolling here. So,
Thank you, Ben.
Yeah.
It's
Thank you,
nice to
Ben.
read poetry from other areas, like Ben. His work the words are different. When all around the world, you're getting a lot of different type of poems, and I like that.
There's as many poems as there are poets. That's always what's
Exactly.
so interesting to see how people write, what they say, how they use their voice, and everybody has their own unique voice in their writing, and it's very. I mean, I think once you read people enough, even if you took their name off of the poem, you could still tell who wrote it.
There's someone
their
from
own-
England wrote a poem about boobies, and I didn't know what the word meant, and I was stupid and asked him in the comment, "What does that word mean?" And he's like, "Tits, baby." And so, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you don't know the word, you don't know it.
Hello
Yeah.
Coach is the first site that I got on, and I'll tell you, I love it. Everybody is very kind and very talented. I'm blown away. It's the best site out there. It really is.
I
Yeah,
agree with
and
that.
it really feels quite close knit in the community ties.
Yeah.
It's nice. I've been on and off a couple of times, but it was also the first site that I started writing on because I just decided one day and probably almost 7 years ago that I wanted to start writing poetry as a hobby. It was never something that I'd done concertedly before, but
Give me your
struck
name
me one
again.
day.
What's your name again?
On
What is your
Hello
name?
Poetry, I go by Melanie, but my real name is Ariana.
Okay.
Oh, you go by Melanie's. I don't know if I've seen you, so.
Yeah, I've seen it.
It's just a made-up name. Has no connection to my actual life, except
You are
writing.
here as Google Pixel.
Yep. I'm also new to Zoom, so I didn't even think to
I think
modify
you
my
should
name
give
or who
your
it
name
displayed.
there. Put your name there.
I'll have to play around with it to figure that out. But the next time
Anyway, we know who you are.
Yeah,
an
that's
actual
And
fine.
if we
identity.
could have the poem in the chat area when people are reading them, like Ben did. He's the
Yeah,
only one who that would be good to see other people's actual words.
I can go ahead and read one, and I'll copy and paste it into the chat so that
I got to
has.
learn all that stuff. I don't know how to do anything.
Well, and also it's hard when you're on a phone and the screen is so small.
Yeah.
This is only for a desktop. This will be really, you can see the chat and all that. Hello.
Yes.
I'd like all the work read out to be put in writing so that we can compile them together.
Yeah. I'd like to see more challenges. Like BLT has their word of the day. I like that.
Yeah.
So next month we'll go give them a theme and ask them to write on a theme.
We'll try to get
Yeah, like
BLT here next time too.
yeah,
So.
BLT's got some really,
Bill,
I like
yeah.
that, and he did some Western thing and some scary thing. I don't, not my cup of tea, but You know, some of the poems are really interesting to read.
All right, Ariana, you want to go ahead?
Sure. So this one I wrote in 2021, and it's about a place I'd like to visit someday called, I may butcher that, Salar de Uyuni. It's the salt flats in Bolivia. And the first time I found out about it, my dad used to get National Geographic when I was a kid, and I liked to look at the pictures. And they did an article about this place one time, and I'd never seen anything like it. These, really stark mountain peaks against the sky, and there's wild flamingos, and it just looks like something that shouldn't exist on this planet. So I wrote a poem about it, and this is how it goes. Tracing the cracks, your sorrow unfurls infinitely, a specter taking shape along the star-littered horizon. Naively, I called you beautiful, yet when evening takes flight, I feel your anguish as clearly as the sound of moonlight striking glass. That's it. It's very short.
Lovely, lovely.
Art is good.
Yeah, and even as it's short, that imagery really counts for even more words than are on the page.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I struggle with brevity. I want to shut up sometimes. Sometimes I consciously just stop because I'm afraid I'm going to bore the reader. So those who are able to keep it brief really have my admiration. It's important that you pack things into a short amount of time. You have to do that with well-chosen words. So you did that here, it seems to me.
Yeah, Ariana's very good at that. She says a lot in very, very short poems. Yeah, I really love how you do that.
Sometimes you could get a little too short, down to one line per word. I don't know. I think I get that a little bit more, but the word emphasized,
I know you've always told me to title my poems because I've got a long collection of
No,
untitled things.
It's a pet peeve of mine. It's a pet peeve. If you don't take time to title something, then why should I read it?
Yeah, well, I've always believed that the title is a poem in itself, and the two are inseparable, and they complement one another. They're really important.
It's the hook. It's the thing that draws in the readers.
Absolutely.
You want to read more. So,
right.
the only saving thing is that you get a few lines of that untitled poem, and if those few lines grab me, then I'll make the exception and read it like I did with her poetry, and it was delightful. Even a bad choice of title in their mind is better than no title.
And just every now and then, you've got to put a feel-good poem in. Here's one called Spirit of the Season. Whilst shopping in the mall last week to fill the Christmas tree, a derelict old soul held out his grubby hand to me. "Spare a copper for a cuppa, mate?" he asked with shining eyes. And there was something in his manner which quite took me by surprise. Delving deep into my pocket, a Christmas smile upon my face, I came up with $5, which made his world a better place. He thanked me so effusively, his face a wrinkled grin. Then we went our separate ways and felt the joy of Christmas sing.
I could listen to you talk all day long.
Hear, hear.
I like your voice. That's awesome.
That was great.
That was great.
That was fantastic. I really like that, Marshall.
Exactly the spirit of the season. It reminded me of how Christmas was like when I was very young and the world was still bright and big and I was excited about everything. That was great.
Times are a lot different now. I grew up on a farm and we had 200 chickens in Southern California, Tarzana. You wouldn't have, there was a lion 4 doors out. I mean, you just wouldn't see that today. Yeah.
Many years ago, I did slam poetry.
What is that?
It's like a poetry competition. It's spoken word. You get up, people rate you and stuff. And it was I was going through a divorce at the time, so I wrote this poem. If I could do it, it's called "Don't."
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Adult language, just so you're aware. Don't call a woman a cunt. They don't like it. And don't tell a batter to bunt because they want to smack it. And whatever you do, don't try to give your cat a bath in the tub with that Mr. Bubble shit. He'll scratch you. I could have swore I heard him say, "You fucking prick," as I was blow drying. If your boss gives you the newly revised employee handbook, don't say, "That sucked. It went on and on and on. There was no plot, and I couldn't figure out who the hell the antagonist was." And one more thing. If you fall in love and you think you found your soulmate and it doesn't work and you feel like your heart's being ripped out through your nose, don't give up. Because the right one's out there somewhere waiting. And who knows? Maybe the cat that likes baths and blow dryers and being dressed up like an Oompa Loompa from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. It could happen. Don't give up.
You're bloody outrageous.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. That would have been one poem I would, the minute you went with the C word, I would have scrolled on by. But that's just my ruthers.
Yes. And
But it was good
is
because
don't.
I gave you the respect to listen to it. But I just think that the profanity is just, I guess I grew up that way, not allowed. Those were non-allowed words.
Yes.
I enjoyed it. I like,
Right.
especially for
value
during a time when you were going through it in life, and sometimes those are the times that generate the most powerful poetry. It's the one that we feel the most, and it comes through in the words that we choose. And I mean, I can just listening to you recite the poem, you mean every word. And I love the uplifting message at the end where you say, if it feels like your heart is being pulled through your nose, which it's whimsical imagery, but with a positive message to top everything off.
Yeah.
Right.
Does have an upbeat ending.
I also like how down to earth it feels. It really like helps the feeling of the poem, just being like, yeah, it happens.
But you lose that with reflection.
Let's have
when
a
you don't
reading
have the
from.
reflection of the voice, you lose that though.
There's
like
a few
him
people
saying
who
it.
haven't had a reading yet. There's someone out there called November Sky. Mark, let's have something from you.
Yeah, I can read, but I have problems with my computer, so it might freeze.
That's okay.
Okay.
Yep.
I have a few. I selected short ones just in case I'd have problems with my computer. Do you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The first one, I posted it yesterday. It's called No Reason. She said, "Thank you." I said, "For what?" She said, "No reason. Only the way sky doesn't suddenly fall. The way small fires undo the cold, the lonely cold. All that and everything else." It's a short one. It's already done.
Right on.
No reason. That's the best reason is no reason. I'd rather get flowers for no reason than for Valentine's Day, or something like you're expected to do it. Yeah, that resonates with me.
Just because.
Yeah, I wrote this for somebody that can close their account this week because they were harassed by a few other members.
Hello Poetry?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Hopefully she reported them, and they need to be weeded out.
Yep.
She
true.
wanted to have peace and have it done, so she terminated her account and just left.
That's a pity.
That's too bad.
There's a lot of her poems that she didn't have time to put to her computer. They were only on Hello Poetry, so she lost that.
Was she young?
That's terrible.
But what's
I
happening?
don't want to give details because she doesn't want to. I asked her who it was because it says I'll fight them tooth and nail, and she says she doesn't want to make an issue with it, and she'd rather it just disappear.
There was I don't know if this is that same person, but there was someone who was being harassed, and she said it was family, people she knew.
But this is not first time when it's happening, no? It's because
I think
I'm
they're
a
like,
new one. I'm a
yeah,
new
I
one,
think they're
and
people they know. If you know someone and they don't like you, the school
what's
makes them.
happening?
The school makes the students put poetry online, and so then there's haters who don't like the student, so they go on the site and then they say negative comments because they're classmates.
On Hello Poetry?
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of teachers. When I was in college, we had to do that. We had to go and put poems on the poetry site. And
So this is not a safe place.
well,
Like I
it can't,
thought.
there's any problem, people, but overall, this is a fluff site. I've been on other sites that are, you must give two positives when you give one corrective criticism, and to benefit. So they elicit the criticism. So this place doesn't do that. This is only fluff.
But it's all about feedback, positive feedback. Even it's not good, it's positive feedback
But
with good
in
energy. No, it's
in several cases, it's not a question of feedback. It's a question of what goes on behind scenes and what they get as emails. And like somebody said earlier that they didn't know how to block. So if you don't know how to block and you're getting flooded by a few that are after you, because some they think it's a dating site.
Right now, and that's why that's why I help the younger people to tell them what no one told me. When I first started, like how to block. I learned something new, and I've been here 10 years.
So I think the face are safer when when we give our face. It's also feedback for another young people to be more safe with us, with
Those
good.
bios are helpful too. People don't fill out their
It's
bios.
incredible.
I'm good.
What do you say?
The bio tells me if it's like I'm gonna critique someone who is 14 different than I'm gonna critique someone who's 72. Right? I'm gonna handle it more with kid gloves. So those bios to me are really important, but a lot of people don't feel that way.
Well, I will say, with that, there are a few like young authors that prefer to have a little like less held back critique. I find myself as one of those, but yeah.
Yeah, there's some who don't care. They say, I'm just getting it out of me and I don't care what people think. I've been told that before. I'm just trying to get out what's inside of me. So I think they should write that on their bio.
Yeah, it's corrected my grammar a couple times, and I'm perfectly cool with that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's never good to post a poem at 3 a.m. I make dumb mistakes at 3.
I always do that.
But remember, it's not 3
And I
o'clock in the
am a
morning for
foreign
someone else,
speaker.
so your readers. So.
Yeah.
I'm a foreign speaker, so for me it's free time to do something because I work, I have a family, and This is a unique time to put something
Well, it's
from
a
me,
lot
from
better
my
than playing
inside.
those games, right? Those little games, whatever they are. That's a waste of time. At least poetry, you're using your mind.
Yeah.
Agnes, do you have anything that you can read?
That would be nice.
I'm so afraid with my diction,
It's
you
okay.
know,
Oh,
because please be good with me because after Spanish and I'm not so good in English in pronunciation because it's another thing to write, another thing to read.
Most Americans aren't very
Doubts.
good at English either, so.
So I try. Please forgive me.
I like your voice.
Doubts. Loved or needed? Needed or loved? Does it still deserve to be a question? This doubt will never be erased from the human language. It burns from inside, reducing plants to ash. Do they seek to heal their broken thoughts, or do they want to stay in hidden safety? It's unclear how to love all the sketches made by routine, invisible seconds, trivial matters picked out from life like slimy red, blue, and golden fish slipping through cold, wet fingers. Existence as a heap of doubts punched by blinding moments, bringing elusive clarity that dims and flares again and again, needed or loved, loved by need, an unbreakable union without sigh, without rhythm as a sharp dissonance.
Wow.
Sorry.
Great.
Sorry.
Your reading
Sorry.
that
Was well done.
it was
There's
amazing.
nothing
My
wrong with
addiction.
your
You read
pronunciation.
it very well.
No.
Sorry,
it's
sorry,
beautiful.
Oh, it
sorry.
was excellent.
Beautiful.
No,
That
you
was
did a great job.
This is a
That
concept,
was really
images,
nice.
and my dreams, because I have some like precognitions, and sometimes it helps, but sometimes it's so difficult to me because I'm here because of that of my student, and I didn't know how to manage because I had dreams, a lot of dreams about this, but I didn't help him. So this is my, I don't know, like catharsis
Therapy.
to manage some things in my head because I can't write poems so beautifully like yours because it's another level. My level is psychological level, mental level to help people and to help me also. Thank you.
Oh.
Of course.
Yeah, well,
Thank you
that
for sharing.
sounds like the reason for poetry to me.
Yeah. Therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would
What,
like to
what,
read one. Right. It's called Riots Rights. It's what, we've had in California, we have a lot of, bad riots and everything. And this was, I'm a couple of hours from San Francisco, so it stemmed from that. A, a child stamps her feet, holding a sign, looking around in wide eye fear, watching her mother the entire time. A new generation indoctrinated, lack of emotional emancipated from rules and decorum, from respect for others. Soulless, empty forum. Her mother lights a Molotov cocktail, holding it high, her holy grail, while walking down the middle of the street, chanting, "There's no defeat," yelling, screaming, fists clenched in the air, "It's not fair." Her facial expressions of hate distorted, twisted her kindness and beauty until the evil from within inside matched her behavior. Defiance of logic and reason, her latest tantrum, word vomit, vulgar obscenities fill the air. It's not fair. Daddy, a prisoner to the unfolding situation. I've exhausted my patience. His words dwindle in frustration. Daddy believes patients belong in hospitals. Is this another case of retribution? He concedes without offering a solution. There comes a point when people you've engaged in conversation just won't hear what you have to say. I'm right, you're wrong, go away. What do you do? Perhaps ponder this. What is fair? All fair means is somebody gets their way and the other person can't contest it. Whoever told you life was fair? It's a crazy world out there. Observation, today's generation, innocence lost.
Pretty good, pretty good.
Nice, nice.
What about something from you, Todd?
All right. Yeah, this is probably going to be it for me because my phone's getting ready to die here in just a few minutes. I got one. I wrote this years ago. It's kind of about the story of soulmates, and I call it Soul Reunion. On the day you were born, I saw you. As I was taking my first steps, I heard you cry. I fell. I cut my knee. That was the first mark you made on me. Memories of the pool of life flood my eyes. I recall the time when we were picked, that time that we were torn in two. An invisible red thread was attached to me and you. As we were born into flesh, into blood and bone, it was our time of separation, of our bodily creation, something that every soul must do. Some weak souls will perish, the most righteous will be called home, but most, like us, will seek their other, drawn in flesh, unaware. Some souls will be satisfied to mingle in kindreds, others will wander in despair. But when two souls find their fated, it's a union, a joining beyond compare, a flood of memories and emotions pour forth like oceans into the rivers and canals of our minds. Every joy is doubled, every pain cut in two, as you are born back into me, and I in you. Together we are stronger than the sum of our parts, and once two souls rejoin, they can never be torn apart. And that's called Soul Reunion.
Good one, Todd.
Very nice.
That was very good.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Very cool, Todd.
I really appreciate that.
Was it Plato who had this idea of the souls being split?
I had a story. It was called The Red Thread, and it's like a Chinese proverb about soulmates.
Yes, and how they're connected.
How they're connected.
Yeah.
From the day they're born, they just don't realize it, and everything
Until
pulls them. Yeah. So anyway, that was the reasoning behind the poem I wrote.
It's a beautiful poem, and it's
Thank you.
an idea too. Yes, I've heard of the red thread. And then I think it was Plato who also had a similar, not the same story, but a similar concept in his symposium, I think. So it's interesting how different cultures have this sort of, you know,
Yeah.
story motif.
Let me
Language
ask
of
this question.
symbols. This is a
Yeah.
language of symbol, metaphorical. And I participate 2 or 3 years ago in Spanish collective dreaming. People read their dreams with precognition symbols, and psychologist was writing something to put patterns, common patterns from collective dreaming. And I know because my friend is a psychologist, German psychologist, and he told me that there are huge emotional collective dreaming, and this is a fact, not a symbol.
I believe it. Because I've
There's
had a
a
lot of days where I wake up and something just, I don't know, it just, something's different about that day. There's just a weird vibe in the air. And then I go out and I don't know if it's just,
Alternative words.
yeah.
Yeah, dreams are, you can make yourself have dreams, and your dreams have meaning, only you know what they are. I study dreams to try to figure out, but if you have bad dreams, you tell yourself, I don't understand what you're trying to tell me. It's frightening me. Tell me in a different way. And you do that before you go to bed. I don't have scary dreams anymore. So you can manipulate your dreams. It's, I don't know. It's interesting.
Lucid dreams. Lucid dreams. It's
Lucid
about
dreams,
this.
right?
Yes.
Let me ask this question, Todd. I know you have a YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel. Does anybody else have platforms that they do their poetry on? Because this has been really just amazing, rewarding to hear the poets recite their poetry.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was just wondering if anybody else has any place where they read their stuff that we could see.
No.
I don't.
It's just me and you, Thomas.
I don't take my
I want to
poetry
talk to you
seriously
later. I
enough
want
to
to talk
good
to
to
you
do that.
about the song you made.
What was that?
I said I want to talk to you later about that song you made. I want to find out how to do that.
Oh, that's the craziest thing. I found this site. It's crazy. You type in your poem, and within 30 seconds, they've made it into a song.
Oh, I would like
Oh
to know
no.
that.
It's
Send me
What
a
is
link to
that?
that.
It's on my
Yeah,
Facebook
what
page.
Send
is
me
I
a
think
that?
link to that.
it's
I gotta write
crazy.
that down.
The
Yeah, I
poem
want
Is that
you read
AI?
out, Thomas,
Yes.
Yeah,
Is
I
that
mean, I
AI?
poem
listened to
you
it.
read out, that
Pretty
was the
good.
one you made into a song.
Yeah, it's on my Facebook page.
Yeah, I heard it. I heard it.
It's crazy. I mean, and you can even pick the genre. So you can say jazz, blues, and within 30 seconds, your words, some dude or lady is singing your song in perfect.
Oh my God,
Is
jeez.
it,
It's
but are your
crazy.
That's
songs
AI, right?
copyright? Are your
It's
songs
AI. Yes.
copyright? Can they use those songs?
I
That's a good
I don't
question.
know. Who knows? Next thing you know,
Yeah.
you're hearing it on the radio, and you're what the hell?
The
But
lyrics would
Somebody
be
else is
good.
making
Copyright
royalties.
it's crazy. It's on my Facebook page. I don't even remember the name of it, but
Well, try to find it. I would like to
yes,
actually. I'll do it this time.
I'll
Yeah.
Google the hell out of that thing. I'm gonna find that.
Bruno.co
Yes.
or something, no?
yes, I have my other computer here up and running. I could while I'm here, I
sumo.co
can check
or
it out.
suno.co or something. The
Yeah,
website.
it's crazy. I was like blown away.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds amazing.
That is artificial intelligence at work, but it will bring out copyright issues.
Yeah, it could. I mean, there's always that, you know. Um,
Yeah, I found my almost verbatim parts of my poem put into somebody else's work.
It happens.
One thing I want to say before, like I know Todd's phone may go out soon. One of the things we wanted to let everyone know is we want to try to have this at the last weekend, like on a Saturday at the end of every month. But what we would like is feedback and suggestions from you if you want to give that to us, so that we can continue to make this in a way that everyone enjoys. And you may have good ideas that we can implement as well. So you can either message Ben or myself on HP on our inbox. Let us know what you thought and if there's something you'd like to see us do or include.
I found where there's a list of everybody. If you just click on participants,
Yeah.
it comes up everybody's name.
Yeah.
Except for I noticed mine was like a phone number. That's not good. But and then other people who just have like Google Pics. I don't know who that is.
That's
But
me. I'm gonna play with the settings on this and have a proper name the next time.
So, because I like to continue to read more of your poetry, you know? I mean, it's just, the more you read a person's poetry, the more you get to know them.
Right.
Yeah.
And we will send a list to everyone of who is
Okay.
here. Yeah. So that you'll know their name. So the name that they go by on Hello Poetry, so you can look them up.
Yeah. Yeah. This has been really, really interesting.
Yeah.
I
I appreciate some of
Absolutely.
you. Some of you, this is either the very beginning of your day, or for some of you, it's the end or beyond the end. You're staying up
Hello.
longer than you normally would. We really appreciate that.
Me and
We'll try to,
Sarita, we are at 2 a.m.
yeah.
2 a.m.?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
It's 2
We
a.m.
Oh
haven't,
boy.
we still
Yeah.
haven't gone to
All
bed.
right, guys. I'm gonna have to say goodbye. My phone's gonna cut out any second now. So I
Bye-bye.
appreciate
All
you.
Hey,
right,
Todd.
Todd. Thank
Bye.
you, Todd.
Bye.
Good to
Bye.
meet you,
Todd,
Todd.
good seeing you, Todd.
Nice
See you
meeting
on
you.
All right.
Facebook.
Thank you. Bye bye.
And
Bye-bye.
Caroline had to leave
Bye.
early. She needed to take her
Yeah.
medication. So that's why we lost her. I think Maddie had something else to do as well.
So
So
I really appreciate Sarita staying till the end.
Can you play on the Zoom site and learn stuff and if you're not in a Zoom? Like can
I
I
think you
look,
have to
you
get
know,
an
like
account. You probably need to get an
okay.
account. They can be as
Well,
low as like
actually I
$6 or
had one. I
$7.
didn't I think I sold a home, my father died, so I think I had one with that. I didn't realize I had a Zoom account.
Okay, yeah, then you can play around with it if you have an account. You can
Okay.
go into a room even just by yourself and learn the features. Yes.
Yeah.
You got a cat too, Carlo, huh?
Yes, I
I
do.
got 3.
I got three. Yeah. We have 3 of them actually. This is timetable and myself.
Hey, guys, I've
Wow.
got
She hopes to
We
be
used
here
to be
next
cats.
time. Sheila.
For now it's dogs. So
Is
I've got
Mrs.
a
Timetable going to be on the next Zoom?
She hopes to be. Yes.
Okay.
Hello,
She
we
does.
should do a themed meet next month.
What's that? I'm sorry.
A themed meet. Give the poets a theme.
I
A
like that
theme.
idea.
Every
That
month
a
could
we'll
be.
monthly
do a
theme?
theme.
Okay.
That would be
All right.
interesting.
Well, then
That's
that's
a
what
great
you put
idea.
in mind. Think
Like
Yeah.
about
create a
that. Yeah.
create a poem based on that theme?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
that's a cool.
Sure.
Yeah, I like that idea.
so next month being May, something related to May, a theme can be given which has some connection with May,
The month of May?
the month of May. So next month when we
Okay.
do it,
Like flowers, Mayflowers.
whatever it is, some theme
That's a
Whatever it is
to
that
that
happens in
particular
May.
month. Some theme connected
Because
to that
you have
particular
holidays
month.
in May. Anything in May.
Yeah.
Okay. That's very broad. That's broad enough to do several poems. You have Mother's Day, Father's Day.
There are so many days happening during that month. For example, here in India, we celebrate May Day. The 1st of
Oh
May
yeah.
is for the
Cinco de
laborers.
Mayo. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cinco de Mayo, right?
Like that,
Yeah.
each one can take up something and write about that particular month.
Good
Okay.
idea.
That's interesting. I bet you'll get as many different poems as there are people, and no two people will write on the same thing because there's so many things in that month.
People from different regions will have different perspectives, different
Exactly.
events happening in that month.
Oh, Thomas, did you have the name of that site?
Yes, it's Suno. UNO.
No, N-O.
SUNO.
Is
Wait,
put
say
it
that
in the
again.
chat.
So I put it in the
S-M-O.
chat.
Okay.
It's SUNO. And it's
S-U.
extremely easy to navigate. Just copy and paste the words
Suno.
right into the thing, and 30 seconds later, you have a song.
Wow.
Crazy.
Sierra Uniform November, October.
As a matter of fact, that one I read, don't call a woman a cunt. Sorry, CJ. I turned that into a reggae song. It's crazy.
I
That's what I
heard
said.
that song.
You're
I
bloody
You
heard
have
that
the
song.
outrageous.
right genre,
Yeah,
like
it's a
like a
trip.
headbanger, a rap song. That would be a good rap song.
Thomas,
Yeah.
Thomas, I'd like to sit down and have a bloody good Irish whiskey with you, mate.
I quit drinking 2 years ago.
Yeah, well,
I
you
was
can start
Good for
again with me.
you.
I was a terrible alcoholic, drunk Irish writer.
Oh.
That was my life. It was terrible. Took me to
As you know, Thomas, I've got 20 years, so I can relate.
man. Yeah, I've got a little over 2 years now. I quit smoking cigarettes at the same time, but I picked up the vape addiction.
Oh, God.
Yeah, no smoking, no drinking, 2 years.
Ridiculous.
Don't you feel better?
Oh man, I feel amazing. I'm writing like crazy. I published 2 books. Just sorry for the shameless promotion, but and I'm working on 2 more. Life is good. Life is really good.
Wow. You get a lot of energy when you don't drink. I actually haven't, never did. I
Well, I
see
think
too.
that's bullshit. I have an Irish whiskey every night before I go to
Yeah.
bed. I
If
wouldn't
I
be without it.
could, absolutely. If I could have drank normal, I absolutely would still be drinking, but I would not stop. And it took everything. I lived under bridges and on the streets and night
There's
Well, I
no
and
such
think
day.
thing. There's no such thing as one for us.
No,
That's only
no.
the beginning. We can't. The one is just the start.
for
Right.
me,
Thomas,
I got sick. Anytime I drank any alcohol, I got sick, which was probably a gift from God. Um,
Yeah.
so, I mean, it wasn't that I was like an alcohol. It was just that it made me literally praying to the porcelain God.
There was no
So,
end. That is the way to put it. Once you start, there is no end.
yeah.
Greg, you're in recovery, aren't you?
What's
Greg,
that?
are you in recovery?
Yeah, 20 years.
Yeah, I thought we've talked, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no such thing as one.
No.
If we just have a beer, that'd be
Oh.
kind of nice. But no, this best. I'm just having water. That'll do for me.
Yeah, water's a good thing.
You
Look
know,
at
but
that.
it gave me a lot of fodder for writing. Now that I'm sober, I mean, I have a lifetime of madness to draw upon to write.
Is there anyone
See,
who puts their poems in the draft mode? Like when you're on Hello Poetry, there's a draft mode you can go in.
Yes.
oh
And
yeah.
then
Yeah.
you can I have like 67 of them in draft mode. And then when the right word of the day comes through, I just insert it and I was able to click out one a day, and
Nice.
I just wondered, if anyone played with that, because I have lost a couple of poems. I accidentally hit the delete button. But it's a good feature, really a good feature for Hello Poetry.
Yeah.
It is.
I've got to hit the road, guys. I've got
All right.
I've got
We
2
do
acres
appreciate
of
everyone for
bloody.
showing up.
I've
Great
got
to
2
see
acres
you,
of-
Amp.
On that note,
Good to see
you, Mark.
everybody and hear from
I
you.
think we had a great session. Thank you all.
Of course.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you for
Thank you.
thank you
thanks
so
for your
much,
efforts.
everybody.
Appreciate it. It's fun.
This has
I'm
been
gonna
great.
go now.
Forward to having more people next month.
Yes.
Thank you
Right.
so
Yeah,
much.
see if you can get BLT. He seems like I would
Yeah.
like to know I would like to
And
know him.
once this recording is ready, I will put it up on YouTube and share the link with you all.
All right. Good seeing you, Ben.
Perfect.
All right,
Thanks a
thank
lot.
you, Ben.
Great to see you guys.
Yes.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
Good seeing
Thank
all
you.
of you. Bye.
See you. Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Hello?
Yes.
Hey, Ben, how do you stop? How do you get out of this?
Oh, you got to go to, there's a leave button.
The red
Probably
colored end.
red with
Oh,
a
I
little
see it. I see it. Hey, good seeing you guys. Really good to see you. This was fantastic.
Bye.
You bet, Thomas. Thank you.
Take care, guys.
You got it.
Okay.
Very good.
So how do
That went very good, Ben.
yeah,
That went very good.
1.5 hours we have touched.
Yes. We'll see what